On the 22nd of January 2022, Thich Nhat Hanh, or how he also was referred to, simply Thay, died and left his body. And in my view, and of course in the view of a lot of people, he was one of the greatest spiritual leaders, one of the greatest spiritual teachers of our time. And he also happened to be a Zen master and a Zen teacher, which is something I'm very close to, or very deeply immersed to as well, because I practiced a lot of Zen Buddhism and Zen meditation, which is called Zazen. But I just decided to make this tribute for Thay and just put some of my impression and some impressions of our people into this video, and also a few short video clips from Thay, just to share some of his wisdom, some of his genuinity, some of his authentic love and kindness. So now I will put some clips here in this video, and then afterwards I will talk about how Martin Luther King, who nominated Thay for the Nobel Peace Prize, how he talked about Thay and how they were related to each other. And I will also read a little bit from one of Thay's students. So here it goes.
I'm reading your book, The Raft is Not the Shore, the conversation with Father Berrigan. And I came to a statement that you made the other day, and it was, it's been sitting with me for days now. And I think you said if I had to choose between peace and Buddhism, I choose peace, which kind of shook my head up a little bit. Because I've never heard a spiritual leader say such a thing, and I think it's, I thought it was beautiful and powerful, and I was wondering if you could, maybe explain what that means exactly.
It's simple. It's easy. Because if you are not for peace, you are against peace, you are not Buddhism. So peace is Buddhism. So Buddhism has peace in it. And if you look at something called Buddhism but there is no peace in it, that's not Buddhism. So with that insight, you can make a declaration without any fear, any hesitation. Because you might think that Buddhism is one thing and peace is another thing. That is why you have to make a choice. But if you see that Buddhism and peace are just one thing, you can say that very easily.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, the day before yesterday, we said something like Buddhism is made of non-Buddhist elements. It's like a flower that is made of non-flower elements. And the Buddha has used only non-Buddhist elements to make his Buddhism. And he was aware of that. So looking around, you see many elements. And if you are a skillful person, you can make use of every element you see around in order to make your own Buddhism. So the same thing must be true with Christianity. Christianity is made of non-Christianity elements. And the teaching of interbeing is available in Christianity also. The teaching of living happily in the present moment can be found in the teaching of Jesus Christ. And when you read the Bible, you read a statement like this one. There will be a day when you will see that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. That is from John. And this is the teaching of interbeing. I am in the Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. We are inside of each other and not outside. And like in the Gospel according to Matthew, it is said that let us not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. So that is the teaching of living happily in the present moment. So there are many points that can be recognized, and there are many of us who practice according to the teaching of Jesus and the Buddha, and do not find any conflict. And that is very good for the cause of peace and unity and harmony in the world also.
Why should we eat vegan and not vegetarian? Why vegan and not vegetarian?
We don't want to eat egg and drink cow's milk and eat cheese anymore because raising cows and raising chicken create a lot of suffering. If you have seen the suffering of the chicken, the suffering of the cows, and so on, you would not like to eat chicken, eat eggs, drink milk, eat cheese anymore. It seems that all the system has been contaminated. So to be vegan is not perfect, but it helps reduce suffering of animals. There are films made about the suffering of animals. If you have watched these films, you see.
So I researched a little bit about the relationship between Martin Luther King and Thich Nhat Hanh, and I wanted to share some quotes and some things I found about their relationships and how they talked about each other. And Martin Luther King called Thich Nhat Hanh an apostle of peace and non-violence, and like I said, nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize. And their relationship came to be because Thich Nhat Hanh reached out to Martin Luther King and he asked him to speak out against the Vietnam War, which was happening, about which Thich Nhat Hanh was highly concerned about and affected. So this is what Martin Luther King also had to say about Thich Nhat Hanh. The history of Vietnam is filled with chapters of exploitation by outside powers and corrupted men of wealth. Until now, the Vietnamese are harshly ruled, ill-fed, poorly housed and burdened by all the hardships and terrors of modern warfare. Thich Nhat Hanh offers a way out of this nightmare, a solution acceptable to rational leaders. His ideas for peace, if applied, would build a monument to ecumenism, to world brotherhood, and to humanity. And I also found this from Thich Nhat Hanh, how he talked to Martin Luther King and how he referred to him. And Thich Nhat Hanh said to Martin Luther King once, "Martin, do you know something? In Vietnam they call you a bodhisattva, an enlightened being trying to awaken other living beings and help them move toward more compassion and understanding." "I'm glad I had the chance to tell him that," said Thay, because just a few months later he was assassinated in Memphis. I was in New York when I heard the news of his assassination. I was devastated. I could not eat, I could not sleep, and I made a deep vow to continue building what he called the beloved community. Not only for myself, but also for him. I have done what I promised to Martin Luther King, and I think that I have always felt his support. And to round all of this up, I will now talk about how one monk referred to Thay and how one of his students referred to Thay. And the monk named Haemin, Sunim, I hope I pronounced that correctly, he once acted as the translator for Thay. He said that the Zen master was calm, attentive, and loving. He was like a large pine tree, allowing many people to rest under his branches with his wonderful teaching of mindfulness and compassion. He was one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And one of his students, I recently found this post on his Instagram. His name is Phap. I also don't know how to pronounce his name, but I can also link it in the video description. He apparently has been a student of Thay for many, many years, and I just thought that these words that he shared were extremely powerful, and I will read them in just a few seconds. And his words also reminded me of my Zen teacher, of my meditation teacher, and although I've never spent any time with Thay personally, I can just completely understand how he felt about Thay just from reading all of his teachings and seeing a lot of his videos. So he wrote a post called "A Teacher's Boundless Love." Dear Thay, in just a few more hours you will be returning to Mother Earth's embrace. I can't help but write to you and acknowledge your boundless love you have given to all of us through the years. Thay, even though you were continuously teaching the world and the world was responding to you and were shining bright lights towards you, you would never miss an opportunity to be with your students. You never forget about us. You would spend quality time with us. You knew that we were your continuation and you invested 120% in all of us. You would hold our hands on walks when you knew we were needing love. You invited us to drink tea, tell us stories, ask us to cook with you and enjoy a meal together. You would listen to us with kindness and open-heartedness. I remember you teaching me how to guide and facilitate meetings. You would sit me down to guide me step by step on how to present a topic, how to be aware of the body when I was having emotions during meetings, and how to breathe to calm myself when sharing. Even when I knew I didn't do so well, you would place your hand on my shoulder and say, "Well done, Thay is very proud." There were moments when your students didn't practice our mindful manners well, or our stubbornness made us hard to guide. You never gave up on us. You would still look at us with kindness and wait patiently for us to grow up. I remember one time you said, "Thay is ready to go and look for you when you are lost." How do you have so much love and compassion? Your hugs were cozy and warm. Your smiles lifted our spirits. Your glance was full of love and forgiveness. Your guidance was compassionate and enlightening. Your actions taught us courage. What else can we ask for in a teacher? Thay, in the last few days, you have allowed us to slow down, to be together, and to see you in us. You continue to teach and remind us. Dear students of Thay worldwide, let us join hands and continue Thay's beautiful legacy. This photo, which I also can put here, was taken in 2003 and has been a treasure to me, which I've kept private for years. But in this solemn moment, Thay, you are free, and so is this beautiful memory. And I think I don't need to add any more to that. I think these are quite powerful words. And in the spirit of Thay, I hope we can all find peace and love and kindness towards ourselves and towards the planet and towards all other beings that we encounter.